Hey, what's up guys on YouTube? Thanks for watching my other videos. Even though my video got in a little bit mess. If you see a picture not moving, that is because I'm doing an audiobook today of my stories that I've written. And I hope you enjoy them because they're really romantic stories. Snowy and the Great Dragon Other Stories by Urban Kumar. Chapter 1 Golden Great. A long time ago in one of the Aleutian Islands of Alaska, there lived a beautiful white horse and a beautiful white hooves. Her name was Snowfeet. She lived with her mother and father in an old cave. The cave was not so big, but they had the things the three of them needed to survive. They had cupboards with carrots and mats made out of grass, and other things they needed to survive. The cave had no doors, so it was easy to say that someone could walk right in and kill them. But on this island, no humans had ever come. There were only the only ones on the island. For breakfast and lunch, and dinner, no dessert. They had non-cooked carrots. They had candles and torches for light. After dinner, the three of them lit the fireplace, put their sleeping mats next to the fire, and huddled. They all said goodnight and went to sleep. Chapter 2 Far away, Snowfeet and her family sat peacefully for hours, and then that moment blacked out. Two men entered the cave. Like I said before, no humans had ever entered this island. So how did humans enter this island? They were close to Snowfeet and put her in a hay bag. She got sent all the way to a terrible farm in Fresno, California. The horses were put in pens that only had an ounce of water to drink. They were not allowed to be released into the open air. If the horses were bad, they were tortured for 4 hours. The next day, the horses were being prepared for the horse race. The horses raced without a jockey, but they were trained for hours. There were 10 horses in the race. The 5 that win are free from the farm. The other 5 horses will lose will be tortured for 5 hours instead of 4. On your marks. The race starter said, "Get set, go!" Snowfeet was not very fast, so there's a chance she might lose. She tried her best, but lost the race. She was tortured for hours. Chapter 4 The Bad Escape. At the night, Snowfeet refused to sleep. She's trying to escape. She picks up a 20-pound hay block and put it on her back. She has to be heavier. She managed to break the door. She ran to the entrance of the farm. She almost escaped, but she got caught. She was sent back to her pen when they were whipped, and with a whip for 8 hours instead of 4, and was handcuffed on both sides of the legs and was left there for the night. Chapter 5 One person to save the day. While the horses were being tortured the other day, a little girl, 10 years old, named Fawn, saw them and recorded how the horses were being treated badly. After she was done recording, she took the bus to Sacramento to her house. She told her parents how terrible the farm treated the horses. She's not a strong girl, but she's good at hiding and sneaking. Her parents told her she could take Toby out of the farm, and after that, her parents will take all the horses out. Fawn sneaked into the farm in the middle of the night, and while every worker was sleeping in the farm house. She went to Snowfeet's pen and said, "Hello, I'm going to take you home." "Where do you live?" she figured. Inspector. Right now, Fawn was writing Snowfeet for hours. After Fawn's parents, she decided to. After Fawn's parents decided to take care of the innocent horse in the terrible farm. They called the police, and the police took everyone to the farm to court. The court decided instead of jail for life, they were for the accused. He decided to give them all death penalties for their animal abusing. And their big house, it was changed to the Fresno Mayor's house. Chapter 6 The Beautiful Bond. After riding for hours, the two friends were very tired. They found a perfect hill spot. They laid leaving a mat and a little fire for dinner. Fawn was supposed to eat cooked carrots with Snowfeet. To her surprise, it tasted good. In fact, it tasted awesome. After dinner, they sat together and watched the sun set to the glaciers. After that, they went to sleep. Chapter 7. Home Sweet Home. The next day, Snowfeet was going home. She ran for miles and on end without stopping. He was almost there when she went there. She saw his mother and father tied up. The kidnappers will accept the death penalty. They said that before Chloe's parents, she was going to kill her first. He was about to shoot her. Then Fawn stopped the bullet before it hit Snowfeet. She got seriously hurt from the bullet. There are no hospitals, so there's a chance she might die. Snowfeet got angry, charged right at the kidnappers. The beautiful horse could also be very strong. She picked up the kidnappers and threw them in the cold 35,797 feet Pacific Ocean. They tried to escape, but they drowned. Snowfeet untied the parents and hugged them. They went to see if Fawn was alright. Like I said before, the island had no hospitals and the bullet hit her heart. Snowfeet had ran towards her as fast as she could, but it was too late. Fawn had passed away. Even the parents were upset. She was a good hoodoo who did something that no one else had done. The 3 horses helped her funeral in the snow. Suddenly, a large boom filled the sky. Sturge helped her carry her away to a place that she feels that will make her understand. Everything will become clear to her. Everything she'll feel will disappear. Chapter 8. The Only Treasure. After the spirits, the family talked and celebrated Snowfeet's arrival. For dinner, they had everything with carrots. The first time they had dessert, they had carrot cake, carrot ice cream, and carrot cookies. Also, it was Alaska's 40th anniversary. There were fireworks bursting in the air. It was amazing, and the family ended the day and lived a good life. The end for the story. Now I'm going to read you about my second story, Alaska. Once upon a time, there was a dog named Alaska. He lived in Alaska with the rest of the family. He and his family had to have a pretty jovial life. One day there was a huge blizzard. The father had given his life to his son, save his son. Alaska and his mother went to the US-Canada border. He had to say goodbye to his mother because she is old and hardly can walk. Alaska ran for days non-stop after running. She finally reached Seattle. It is hard for him to find a home. He heard a alarm train stopping. A family of 4 came out. "Excuse me," Alaska asked. "I wonder if you could give me a place to stay." But they ignored him. Alaska sat there sadly. The lady from the family decided to came in the family's home. The family was huge and had great view of the Puget Sound. Alaska slept in the attic. When he woke up, he saw the sun rising in the sound. Alaska had to wherever his family went. Since the sounder trains does not allow place for the leech, they had to miss the 8:25 train to buy a leash for Alaska. They had to run before the train because after this train and train switched directions, they got on the train on time. Alaska liked the comfortable train ride. After sitting in the train for a long time, the family reached their stop in Everett. The kids went to school and the mom went to her art shop. And dad went to a Boeing factory. Alaska was told to wait inside for hours. Suddenly, Alaska saw a guy shoplifting. He ran after him, but the hot sidewalk made his heart fall tired. Then he saw a skateboard. He rode and caught the shoplifter. He tripped over him, and the shoplifter went to jail. Alaska's face was from child times. And Alaska joined a Dana, but he talked about his life. The next day, he was kidnapped and put in a terrible zoo. But a miracle happened. A family rescued him and took him home. He made a new life in his family. His life may not have been a happy one, but it turned out to be into a peaceful one. They all lived happily ever after. Hey, you guys, and welcome to Snow Pete and Other Stories Part 2. Now I'm going to tell you a story about my other story called Lost. Enemies for a long time. A long time ago. You was in Canada were enemies for a long time. They were fighting and fighting for a long time. Actually, the story is mostly about a 7.5-year-old girl named Aurora. She had an amazing life, except she can't speak a word. No one knows why she cannot talk. Her family is 16 people, including her. She also is Jewish and Canadian. One day, her mother decided to go on an Amtrak train towards New Orleans. Then the train stopped in St. Louis for track repair. The girl went out to explore the trains and went outside. It was a new moon in the sky, so it was very hard to see anything. Suddenly, the train moved away from top. Aurora tried to catch up with the train, but the train went away too quickly. Since it was night, she was very tired. She had to sleep in the grass until the morning. The next day, she went to the city of St. Louis. As soon as she entered, fireworks burst in the air. Soon she realized it was a festival. There was a shining song going, "Hail to the mayor of St. Louis, Greg Pilot." After a few minutes, the mayor saw Aurora. She looked into her eyes and said, "Hello, are you lost? Where do you live? You cannot speak?" Greg decided to take her to a fancy house. They took the subway train to Town Hall Station. There were 7 stations away, so the train trip was long. After a long trip, they walked a few blocks to Greg's house. It was enormous. In fact, it was as big as Century Field and Seiko Field combined. Greg lives with his mother along with his father. Rosetta. Along with his father and his sister. He told his family about a speechless girl who was lost. They did not know where she's from. The next day, they went to a Christian church for their prayer. Aurora was gone. They looked everywhere in the city until they saw her in a Jewish church. They soon realized that she was Jewish, not Christian. After night, the family was watching a soccer match on TV. US and Canada were playing. US was not doing so well, but Canada was doing brilliant. After the match, he showed a Canadian flag. Aurora went closer to the pad and touched it. The family was shocked to see she was from Canada. As you know, US and Canada are still enemies. She spoke to her family. "I will do whatever it takes to get her out of our family. I don't care where she's from," he said. Will Aurora get home? Well, you do not, my friend. You will soon find out. Home. Greg began his journey to take her home to Canada. This is probably the scariest thing anybody could have done, taking someone to an enemy country with no passport or visa. He took the train and to the border of the country. There was the usual guards holding guns. Greg rang the non-electric doorbell. "Hello?" Guard said, "Why do you want to enter? I want to get this home." "You can't enter without a passport or a visa." "I don't care. I'll do anything to get her home. She's only 7.5 years old and alone in a strange city in a strange country. So what if I'm an American? I don't think it's allowed to let anybody in with a visa or passport," the guard said. "But since you're doing a great deed, I really respect you. You can come in." The doors opened and they entered. For hours they've been walking. There was no town near. After walking for a long time, they saw the town of Edmonton. I think we should find a hotel for a night. At first they had a restaurant. The waiter had to make the waiter get burgers and fries. Then they stayed in a hotel in the night. The next day after breakfast, they went straight to the police. He asked for my help to get Aurora home. He gave a newspaper on the media. He was very kind. He walked him down our journey. Along the way, he told everybody on TV that this guy is a kind person and not die. His voice was also put on YouTube so everybody can listen. He hoped that the people could listen to his voice. After a few miles, they left Edmonton. Since they were really tired of walking, they decided to rent a car. Found a nearby budget, or the car service. and rented the car for 2 weeks. He rented a Toyota Camry hybrid. He drove until they realized they were in the middle of the forest. They were in a green hedge forest. The forest was the third largest forest in Canada, so it was easy to get lost. Suddenly, Aurora got out of the car and ran away. Wait, wait! I guess I had, the media guys and Greg said, but she both disappeared. I guess I had to find her, Greg said. Yeah, the media people said. They both went in the forest and left the road behind. Okay, for them, it was daytime, so they did not have trouble seeing anything. There were no people in the forest, so they were all alone. The mothers, after a few miles, they saw the owls. They saw Aurora hugging your mother. Your enemies saw Greg. Telling him what happened next. Will US and Canada be friends? Or still enemies? Who knows? Animal versus man. A long time ago, humans had ruled the world. We invented technology so we detect techs that we think are cool and made. But before these techs were have few animals endangered. This is a story about our tropical animals including elephants, lions, tigers, deep desert wolves coming together in Africa to find out. Why do man want to kill us? They discussed for days, still could not find a reason. One day, a mother and an elephant and her babies got a sunrise and they see a nearby village. They were curious. Why does man want to kill us? She summoned the king of forest, the lion. He said that the only reason they're attacking it is because of the tigers. The next day, an elephant and baby went to follow the tigers. They were about to catch their prey. The tigers were about to catch their last bit of prey. Suddenly, the elephant charged them and grabbed them. She threw them on the ground. The baby found some vines. The elephant took some vines and tied the tigers up. She took the tigers to the king, and the king imprisoned them, and the animals never attacked man again, and man never attacked animals again. The end. Saving Seattle. A long time ago, a family of four lived in a tiny apartment in New York. The family had a mom, a dad. Hey, what's up guys watching? Welcome to Snoopy and Other Stories Part 3. And I'm going to continue on. Saving Seattle. Long time ago, when a family of four lived in a tiny apartment in New York. The family had a mom, a dad, two beautiful daughters. The mom was named Ariel, the dad was named Eric. The daughters were one is 9, one is 11, was Bella and Aurora. They were just moving to Seattle because they heard it was a pretty nice city. Since they had so much stuff they had to buy a bus-sized RV, they were on the road. They were on the road 5 days. After a long drive, they finally reached Seattle. It was dirty and polluted. They finally found a good house. Thought the house would have a good view of the Seattle. But they were wrong. The next day, the parents started a new job. The kids went to school. The kids went to Seattle Elementary School. The dad was a light trailer owner from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And mom was a dad teacher at the University of Washington. At work during lunch, Eric called the city council. Hey, I was wondering why Seattle is so polluted at this time, asked Eric at the phone. Well, we have discovered that a group of bad guys who polluted the sound murdered us was the mayor and signed to sign a law to workers who pollute the city, said one of the councilors. Eric left early today to tell his wife and the kids what happened in the city. He really made fun. He and wife were going to go to the computer and look at the bad guy's house where it was. Okay, we're going to the bad guy's house. You stay here, okay? We should be back in by an hour. Parents went to the bad guy's house. They knocked on the door. And the door opened. A big hairy man with a mad face was standing in front. Well, what do you want? The guy said. We want to talk with you. The parents said together. The guy let them in. The house was big and fancy, but dark and scary. They sat in the living room. You want to know who ruined the beauty of Seattle? Asked the parents. We did. Why? Said the parents. Said together, so we can have a fridge and we can make this mansion bigger and cleaner. Right now it's dark and filthy. I have no electricity. We will not let you mess up Seattle, the parents yelled. Well, in that case, I'll put you in somewhere. The parents were put in cells. It was a little light. After the children were playing a board game for more than an hour. Hey, I wonder what happened to Mom and Dad, Belle said. I think they were locked up in the back guy's house. I'm gonna computer find the bad guy's house. We'll go there right now. She went to the computer and found the location. The girls took their bikes and rode out to the back way to the house. They knocked on the door. At the same guy who the terrorist had said, "We want our parents right now," the girls yelled. "Never! Your parents are in prison for insulting me, and I'm afraid you will have to do the same to you." Ah! The girls screamed as they were tied up in gags and chains, and were thrown in one cell. They tried to get out, but they had three big locks. The girls sat there crying. Then Aurora had an idea. She and her sister were going to pretend that they were fighting when they saw the girls free their parents. "You're very sick about it. We called 911. Suddenly, bad guy became angry. Now I have to kill you girls," the bad guy said, very angry. He got a knife while the side of the girls, but the police came and arrested him. He was put in a prison team to destroy all the cells in the house. Do you know what happened in the story, Queen? Of course. Of course you would. Otherwise you would never have looked up the story. Anyway, the city was cleaned with the bear sign of the new laws. First, that no cars allowed in Seattle, only electric buses, electric trains, and bikes. In the places that there's a trash can, there must be a recycling can next to it. And last but important, if you litter, you will pay a $1,000 fine. Seattle may seem nothing to care about, but it's the crown jewel of Washington. If you look at it, it looks as pretty as New York and LA combined. Anyway, that's all for today's story.